What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another YouTube video. My name is Mike, full-time Amazon media seller. It's that time of the year again. New Scoutly loud trucks and ScoutIQ trigger sets for the year 2025. Just so you know, it's 10 degrees out. The winds are blowing like 50 miles per hour. So make sure you hit the like button on this video. But we're gonna cover ScoutIQ triggers, right? So we all know, whether you're new or you've been doing this for a while, you download the app. It comes with a default trigger set. It's garbage. You will lose money. I promise you, if you stick with those default triggers, it will not work out in the long run. I have been doing this for years and years and years. People that start with those triggers and never leave them wind up going away pretty fast. So we're gonna cover both apps, the main two apps currently that are out there when it comes to scanning. Personally, for me, I prefer Scoutly over ScoutIQ. It's got a little bit more features that I like than ScoutIQ. And also the people, I don't know. I don't want to get into the politics of it all. I'm a Scoutly guy, but either way, they're basically the same app. So if you're interested in starting, growing, maintaining an Amazon media business, join the YouTube channel. $2.99 a month. We got weekly live calls every single week. You get to sit down with me or Johnny, sit down on a live call, get all your questions answered. We got the go-to lister discount, right? So if you're a member of the channel, you get a discount off go-to lister, which is the best listing software out there. I'm shutting up. You're going to see screenshots. Don't worry about me dancing in the background. We're getting into this now. Before they pop up, right? Remember, this is a guideline for you to build off of. Sure, you can copy and paste these, but I'm here to tell you, my business is different than your business and the next person's and the next person. So use this as a guideline to kind of see what works for you and go from there. We're gonna start with Scoutly first. So, main things here. You're gonna have your FBA inbound cost per pound. This takes into consideration how much you're paying to ship your items in, and then your buy cost. For me, I used to have my buy cost at 0 because every store has different prices. I'm not updating it in every store, every single item. Now it's 22 cents. Why 22 cents? Well, I use inventory placement so I don't get split shipments. This may change this year, so this number may go back down to 0, but for the time being, it costs on average about 22 cents per item. So we got 50 cents per pound for FBA, 22 cents buy cost. Everything else, you're gonna be doing mental math on the fly. So the book triggers in Scoutly. Trigger 1, we got 5 triggers total. Minimum sales count 24, maximum sales count 186. Sales count, you have to understand this, especially if you're a new seller. This is how often an item sells, right? So if an item sells more often, we can take a little bit less in profit. So we got a minimum rank of 1 up to 500K. We're not using the sales rank only. We want FBA slot 1. We want to be able to know that we could be the lowest price and make that expected profit. Because what happens here, a lot of you go out, you scan items, you get home, and it's not profitable anymore. It's nowhere near as profitable as it was. So FBA slot 1, it's going to be on every single trigger that you see today. You know, you're going to go in, you're going to put FBA slot 1. Use slot 3, so if there's no FBA offers, it hits the third FBM offer, kind of in the middle ground, but if there's no FBA offers, usually we're buying it. Select use buy box if higher, yes. Select use buy box if lower, no. We only care about the buy box if it's higher. We are buy box eligible, right? If you're brand new, you're not buy box eligible, you need a different set of triggers, which we have over in the Discord, shameless plug. So make sure you're going with the buy box if you're eligible, because you can get more for your items. Percent off new buy box, 5%. Percent off Amazon, 5%. Target profit on the fastest moving books in the universe, $5. This has changed, right? These triggers might surprise you if you go back and watch last year's. Things have changed. Fees are high on books. You get 1 return on a book and you have to have it sent back to you or disposed of. You are going to pay on average between $2.50 and like $4. You can't be sending in the low value junk books anymore. The business doesn't work. I'm here to tell you this. As the used book guy, the low value books do not work on Amazon no more. 2020, Mike, we could be having a whole different conversation. This, Mike, no, we need to get at least $5 after our buy cost for this to make sense. All right, moving on. Trigger 2. We're going 500,001 to 1 million. Sales count of 12 up to 186. So this book probably sells about once every 2 weeks. FBA slot 1, U slot 3, buy box higher, 5, $6 profit. So the only thing that changes, a little bit slower moving stuff, and we're gonna take $6. So we want an extra buck if it takes an extra week to sell. Now we're gonna jump down all the way down to 3 minimum sales count. This sells like once every 2 months on the very, very bottom of this. 1 million to 2 million, not a lot of books will fall into this category, but there are chances you should take if the profit is there. We want at least $7 profit for that trigger set. The fourth and final trigger set, besides number 5, which is just an exclusion trigger set, we got sales score of 1. Sells once every 6 months. I preface this by saying, do not load your inventory up with this junk. This trigger's here to catch the one-offs where you're actually gonna get a lot of money, right? The risk is worth the reward. Yes, you can make money on long tail items. You have to be strategic. If you're starting out, stay away from this trigger altogether. You need to send in fast moving inventory to get the buy box. Then you can add this trigger in. That's why we have a whole different trigger set if you're not buy box eligible. So this is 2 million to 6 million. I'm not touching a book over 6 million. We want at least $10 profit. We're doing 10% off Amazon as well. Same thing, we're hitting the buy box. And then the fifth one, everybody always asks, what's the deal with this? It's just so we exclude every single book that's ranked over 6 million. So that is the book trigger set for Scoutly. Moving on. Now, CDs and DVDs, they are the same exact trigger, right? So we'll pop them up, but they're the same thing. So you can copy and paste them into one another. Now, why are they the same? It's different categories. Well, if you look at the sales rank, the BSR rank of CDs and DVDs, they're kind of almost exactly the same, so you don't need to do much different. Now, this has also changed, and it's kind of vindictive of what I was talking about, how the fees and the storage fees and the removal fees are set up. So, DVDs. 24 minimum sales count, sells at least once a week, all the way up to every single day. 1 to 50,000, right? These are the fast moving DVDs. You know, FBA slot 1, U slot 3, buy box higher, 5. We're taking $4 profit. So we are actually down from the books. And last year, if you looked, the DVDs were higher than the books. Why is that the case? Because the fees. If you want to get your, you know, Halloween DVD removed, it's only going to cost you like $1.25 versus your book is going to cost you $2.50, $3.50, right? So we got to focus on what makes sense. The numbers back these triggers up. It's not me just pulling shit out of the air, right? Like these decisions I make in these trigger sets, it might not seem like a big deal to you. A lot of you copy and paste. I got no problem with that. But just know when I do these things, there's a reason behind it. So last year, we were taking higher profit DVDs and lower profit books. This year, it's flip-flop. So at least $4 for the super fast moving DVDs. We go down to minimum sales count of 12, 50K to 100K. We're fine with $5, 100 to 200K. We want $6. And then the last one we have, 1 minimum e-score, sells every 6 months. You're not buying all of this, remember. This is there to catch the one-offs where we can make decisions and make some money. 200 to 250K. I don't go above 250K. You can, right? You guys know a lot of people don't even go above 100K. I'm a firm believer in sending in some long tail stuff, especially if the data makes sense. We want at least $7 for that. This trigger, right? And then we're going to pop up the CD one. It's exactly the same for CDs and DVDs. So you can do it once and then copy it over into the other one. I am bullish on disc media. Books are still there. I still scan all the books, right? I just cleaned out the car, got my water jugs because I'm going to the library tomorrow to pick up some books. I still love books, still scan books. I just understand the fee difference. I've seen it, right? I felt it. I felt it come out of my account when I had to have a book removed versus a CD or DVD. So this year, disc media is going to be much more of a focus. I'm actually going to a record store after I record this video. And then you got the last one. It's just an exclusion. We want everything excluded over 250K. So make sure you put that one in there. And make sure in Scoutly, you go in and you edit each trigger. There's an edit button on the computer. Do it on the computer. The mobile, it works, but it sucks. go on the computer, make sure you edit each trigger to that it's going off the FBA, not the FBM profit. Last but not least, stinky old video games. Jack, Jameson, all you hotshot video game seller. There's a few of you over there in the Discord as well. I haven't looked. I probably still don't have the buy box. I want at least $6 profit, minimum 20 sales count, so basically once a week. I don't send video games that are over 100K. I'm curious what I probably should have asked them before I recorded this. Like, yo, what do you guys send in? Like, what's the highest ranked stuff? But for me, I don't have the buy box, but it is what it is. I don't send it enough, so Amazon rewards you if you actually put in the work. So for me, they're never gonna give me video game buy box. I'm A-okay with that. If we switch over to ScoutIQ, it's literally the same exact things. The only thing different is the way it looks, right? So like you see on ScoutIQ, it shows you how often the item's supposed to sell with the E-score when you put in the number. So we'll pop these up here. It's the same exact thing. We'll make sure they stay on the screen for a little bit for you as well. I just know a lot of you still use ScoutIQ. Some of you new sellers basically use ScoutIQ. I'm okay with that. That's why I wanted to kind of incorporate them. But it's the same exact thing, right? You got the E-score that's the same as the sales score. You got all the same exact basically features and all the whistles and doodads. The apps are basically the same color. They both got Scout in their name. So that's it. That's your trigger set to build off of this year. Be greedier with the books. I can't say it enough. A lot of you start with books. You never get into disc media. And I'm telling you right now, it is hard to scale a cherry picking book business to 6 figures in sales. 4 years ago, different conversation. I'm in every store, I'm pulling out full carts. It used to cost 50 cents to have anything removed and sent back to you. Now, a book weighs a pound, you're looking at $3, $4. A book weighs 2 pounds, $5, $6. A book weighs 5 pounds, you're paying like $10 to have it sent back to you. They don't tell you this, right? It just comes out of your balance, and what happens, you get frustrated. So I want you to be more greedy. The triggers you've seen are my triggers. Like that's the exact trigger set I use. So previous years, I kind of kept mine off to the side because I didn't want to lead anybody astray. That trigger set I showed you guys, that is the exact trigger set I use. And like I said, we got the bulk trigger set, we got the no buy box trigger set, we got the FBM only, right? People that like to store their stuff and sell it, you know, ship it themselves on Amazon. We got that trigger set. It's all over in the Discord. That's gonna do it for the video. I'm freezing my ass off. I'm kind of scratchy. I need to drink my cherry Pepsi Zero Sugar. I appreciate you watching. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Stay tuned for 2026's ScoutIQ trigger set video. Bye-bye.